Welcome ye, weary Capricorns, that travel from one place to another. That is one characteristic that is exclusive to Capricorns, which is something that I am not, which is also why I am right here with you. But I am now addressing Capricorns that travel, and that is one stereotype I do not mind reinforcing at all. Signs. What are they really? Does anyone really know? Do you believe in signs? Well, they exist, that is for sure. We are completely 100% sure that signs are a thing. The first time a sign was ever encountered, it even predated any sort of registry instrument, so we are just going to have to leave that one at that. Unless, of course, you are special, or just so special, that you have access to, or know the whereabouts of, a time machine. In which case, there is still hope for you. And I know for a fact that astrology is the first of your priorities. Forget dinner, or laundry, or bills, or finding true love. There will be more time for that later. But first, you have to find out why you are a fucking Sagittarius. Imagine you travel back in time and arrive in early 16th century Rome. All Assassin's Creed Brotherhood up and that. Surely someone by then must have had discovered astrological signs. You can't travel too far back because that is frowned upon. So while you're in Rome, and this is assuming you are free to just roam around, pun intended, and I'm sorry, go ahead and talk to the man himself, Copernicus. Sadly, he is a very busy man, and you can't just walk into his quarters all willy-nilly and interrogate the guy. You have to, the guy Copernicus. That is the guy we are referring to. But in order to get in, you have to blend in with the local monks, for instance, when they walk in groups of 3 to more people. So, since you can't talk to Copernicus, I suggest the next best thing in Rome, which is the suppli di riso, which are small fried rice balls with ragu and mozzarella inside. Much like with religion in those times, it is to die for. And once you had some of those, you can move on to the another next best thing, and that is Copernicus's brother, Capritarius. It's not called brotherhood for nothing, you know. Copernicus did have more siblings, all of them worshipping a different thing. As we know, Copernicus worshipped the sun. That is literally the basis of all his postulates, and don't believe what anyone else tells you. Then you had Capritarius, a very wise man who actively chose to let his genius flow while being suspended 9 hours a day. Then you had Vergarius, a no-nonsense anti-woman with very creative juices, such as lime bean juice and wild boar and kale smoothie. And then you had Acquarini, an all-nonsense man who gave away most of his teeth to stem cell research, even though, at the time, there was none. And then there was Jennifer, but she just laid in bed most of the day. So now you have Capritarius on the bed, his legs are on the mantelpiece, and he's ready to answer your questions. Sadly, these questions will be left unanswered because the Renaissance, much like Wu-Tang Clan, ain't nothing to fuck with, as martial law and suppression of speech and dissent has been imposed by the much more fun Shovel Knights. After all, this is nothing if not a rogue legacy. So now you know what you should download next. So not just travel, weary Capricorn, but time travel, weary Capricorn. And if you don't know what that means, look it up. Bring some headphones. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 20 of the Made of Things podcast. I am your host, António Maria Correia. This week on the show we have Scottish indie rockers Django Django. David Maclean and Tommy Grace are our guests, and we spoke at the Alive Festival in Portugal this past summer. The guys were promoting the excellent record Born Under Saturn, so let's not waste any more time with video game references, and let's get straight to my conversation with Django Django.
Good, thank you. Yeah, good.
How about you?
All right, thanks. Yeah, great.
Cool. Just for podcast purposes, because this goes on a podcast, could you state your names, please?
Yeah, I am Dave from Django Django.
Hi, I'm Tommy from Django Django.
Welcome to the Made of Things podcast. How are you guys? What's it like coming back to Portugal?
Great. I've been here 3 times or twice before. Maybe this is our 3rd time. Yeah, it just seems like we've got quite a lot of fans here, and beautiful city and beautiful weather, so can't complain today, really. It's good.
Yeah, I remember you playing. I think you played the Live Festival before once.
Yeah, I played this one. Yeah,
and also Mesh Fest, and it's a winter festival. I was there at that one. Do you guys have any recollections of those shows?
Yeah,
we do. I mean, I remember being here just sort of belatedly, and had a really good show. It was a really good turnout, big crowd on late at night, which I think is going to be the same tonight as well, so looking forward to that. I think I would prefer later shows. And
that's true, you guys tend to play really late over here.
Yeah, I don't know, I always just figured that you guys just like start late. It always seems like you have really like late evening meals and stuff, but no, it suits us.
What time do you guys wake up back in the UK? Just to have some sort of comparison.
I'm up really early because I've got a kid daughter now, so I'm up at like 6 in the morning.
Oh, okay.
When are you up, Dave?
10 in the morning's my usual get up time.
Okay, so
I like to lie in.
Okay, so Portugal is somewhere in the middle, so it's fine.
Okay. Good.
Don't worry. We have the Django time slots. Time frame, I mean.
Yeah.
You guys, I need to ask this. Whenever you guys play in a festival, All J are also playing. What's going on?
I've no idea. Yeah, they played before us last time.
Is there a connection, I mean, other than just pure coincidence?
Oh, they're friends of ours, but I don't think the festival bookers know that. It's just maybe we sometimes get sort of lumped together in the same sort of category of bands. There's a few bands that we seem to play with a lot, like Metronomy, Alt J, Unknown Mortal Orchestra, Hot Chip. I seem to share bills with these people because it's similar type of music, I guess. Yeah.
Are those bands, any of them particular friends of yours?
They're all. I mean, we don't know Mortal Orchestra, although we played with them. But yeah, Metronomy are friends. We've toured with Metronomy, Hot Chip. Done a lot of shows with Alt J, and so yeah, we know them all. Yeah.
Apart from Alt J, I've interviewed them all. Right. Actually, a year ago, I was interviewing an Mortal Orchestra right here with Ruben.
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah, their new album's great. So.
It is.
Yeah.
And so is yours, by the way. So this is a nice segue, being a professional over here. But Born Under Saturn. Why Saturn in particular?
It was sort of about the connection with sort of the occult, I guess, and what Saturn means to this sort of mystery that surrounded Saturn, and sort of I mean, the book titled Born Under Saturn that we stole the album title from wasn't about the occult or about Saturn, really. It was about artistic temperament and what it means to be born under Saturn. What kind of temperament that gives you. It was about the kind of mystery of what that book title could have been about, and what Saturn's meant to mythology throughout the ages, and what a kind of interesting, strange planet it is. So just tied up a lot of interests we had.
Actually, I think it fits the album really well, because this has you've already had this from in the previous record, but kind of your music kind of sounds like this kind of space desert rocky thing. Half of it seems to be seems to take place in outer space. I think, is that the intention of you guys?
Well, I personally have got a big fascination with the solar system and outer space in general, and the strangeness of it. Even the strangeness that involves quite boring science seems to be quite wild and kind of unknown. I guess it's this kind of there's just a frontier on our own doorstep that's kind of quite unexplored, and that's exciting for me. Yeah,
Just like the sea, right? The sea.
yeah. I mean, deep sea to me is almost as unknown or more unknown than our own solar system. You know, it's kind of full of anomalous misunderstandings and kind of science that's yet to be kind of unfolded. So all those things have been exciting to me since I've been a kid. Yeah.
I mean, only recently they discovered that the filmed footage of the giant squids, like, you know, fathoms and fathoms under the sea. And this is incredible. These huge creatures that we're only just sort of finding out about now. It is incredible. And I don't know. I think it's nice. It's nice to think about stuff that's not just on your own doorstep. I think it sort of gets you going creatively or something.
Do you know that in Lisbon we have this aquarium from, I don't know, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, possibly more, I'm not even sure, but there's the corpse of a giant squid, and it's like 15 meters, I don't know, in inches, like, I don't know.
That's big, though.
That's very big. Yeah, it's very long, and people who are, I had some friends of mine who were like, oh, giant squids don't exist. I'm telling you they exist, because I've seen them since I was a child, you know. I've seen one when I was a kid, you know.
That's sort of like Kraken kind of size. That's like, but you can see where these myths about sea creatures and it came from, you know, because this would have been scary if you were on a little boat to see a beast like that. Yeah.
Is that what Giant is about?
Giant's about it's not about
on giant squids again. It's like
about giant squid. It's about but imagine the calamari that's come off those things. Feed you for a week.
That's a thought for Africa or any other famine
nations. Mutant should start breeding mutant anyway. Right?
Farming giant squids.
Yeah,
that's possibly very dangerous. Not a good idea.
No.
Like Jurassic Park 4, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's quite good. If you're watching whoever makes Jurassic Park films, a deep sea version of Jurassic Park, where it's all aquatic dinosaurs, and you go down in cages to feed them. Why has that not been done yet?
That's good.
You've just registered, according to copyright laws, I think.
Who made Jurassic Park?
Steven Spielberg.
Yeah, he didn't. He's not still involved though. Did he make the new one?
Yeah, I think the new one. I think he is. Yeah.
Spielberg make an aquatic Jurassic Park. Aquatic Park, call it that.
You have artistic rights and copyright rights. I know this for a fact. No, it's you have just registered this.
If Aquatic Park comes out, then you've got me to thank.
Have you seen the new movie? I actually haven't. I heard it's brilliant.
I've not seen it yet. No, it looks good.
It's hard for me because the first one I remember, so I went to see it 3 times or something at the cinema. And it was such a game changer and such a brilliant film, you know, that I'd find it hard to watch a remake of it.
Oh, sure.
But I'm sure it's good.
It's not a remake though, is it? It's
it's a new movie.
A whole different plot and stuff.
Right. Maybe that's
It's
alright.
supposed to be good.
Right. The new Mad Max is good.
I've seen that, and it's brilliant.
Yeah.
I think it's possibly the best one.
Mad Max 2 is the best one.
Well, yeah, it's hard to. Yeah, it's a good argument.
Yeah.
It's a good dispute.
Tina Turner should have had a cameo in it. I'm kind of like the one thing.
She's on the third one, I think, right?
She's Beyond the Thunderdome. Yeah.
Beyond the Thunderdome. Yeah. That's a classic as well. Even though it's kind of
Yeah.
Third movies.
It's a bit of a dip, isn't it?
Yeah. The second sequels are usually. But how are you doing time-wise? Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Just suddenly realised not talked about music at all this whole interview.
No, that's my thing. But for instance, may I ask 2 questions more?
Yeah.
Okay. So, my favorite song on the record is "Break the Glass." What was the glass's fault? What did the glass ever do to you?
We were literally in the recording booth, and we were like, right, what we're going to write a song about, and it was literally like a broken, like the soundproof glass of the recording booth was broken, and there was like some.
Do you know that band, UK band, n-dubz? Do you remember them?
No.
There was a guy.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
n-dubz.
n-dubz.
There was a guy in a band called n-dubz, called Dappy, wore a little hat on top of his head. You don't remember him? He's
sure.
But he was using the recording studio at the same time as us. So when we weren't there, he was there, and every time we got back, there was things in the studio that were broken, and people would always blame this kid Dappy for some reason. It was like, yeah, Dappy did that, because I think he was like I don't know, he was like building model aeroplanes and flying them into, I don't know, getting in trouble. And so there was this massive window in the studio that was broken, and the joke was that Dappy broke this window. And I don't think he did, actually. I think he just got the blame for it.
Is he Googleable, though?
The blame for everything.
Can you find him on Google or something?
Of course you can, yeah, he's like a big star. But anyway, I don't think it was Dappy that broke that window in the end, but the song is about that window that Dappy got the blame for breaking.
Oh, it's fun because it's very literal then.
It is, yeah.
Okay, cool. Just one last thing I need to ask, because this goes on the podcast I mentioned. It's called Made of Things, and it's based on the assumption that you've dedicated your life and your career to having a career in music or whatever the guest does in this case. But what was the moment like in which you heard or saw something or did something in which you thought, okay, I'm going to do this. I want to do this forever. This is my life now.
Music.
Yeah.
Just hearing Vinny's first early demos of Storm and Firewater.
Oh wow.
I didn't think it was going to become my job. I thought this is a way of moving from I was making techno and stuff, and way of moving from making dance music and techno that I'd hit a brick wall with and started to find boring, in working with songs, and that's what I'd always really wanted to do, was help someone make songs or write songs. So like that, just hearing those demos, I thought this is possible.
So it's actually like, oh, I need to get on this boat, right?
Yeah, it was just like, I can imagine helping with this and filling in the gaps for him, and that was exciting. Working on your own, making techno is very okay. You do this, and then it goes on for a while, and then the hi-hat comes in, and it's like fun. But when you start to muck about with songs, I can't write songs. I'm not really a songwriter or anything, but helping someone write a song was exciting for me.
Sure. Well, nothing to do with your brother and stuff?
No, really. I mean, like, the Beta Band obviously was a big part of my whole family's life and my life, and but I never thought about being in a band like that until I met Vinny, so it was kind of accidental.
Okay, cool. What about you, Tom?
Probably the first time we played live, and because I just didn't know what to expect. I hadn't done any gigs before, unlike Jim, say, who'd been in bands before. I had not been in a band, and then we'd gotten together, and then suddenly we were live, and we did this funny gig in Brick Lane, and it was great. I got this huge rush, and it was really immediate, and I really enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could do this. This is good. It's great.
Awesome. We're running out of time, so thank you guys for enjoy the show, and see you guys around next time you're around. We'll speak again.
Yes.
Cheers. Cheers. Thanks.
Thank you.
Man. Cheers. Thank you.
Thanks.
All the time we had with David and Tommy of Django Django. I hope you come back later in the week. We'll have another episode coming right up. And until then, follow us on Twitter at Made of Things Pod and like our page on Facebook. Don't forget we are also on YouTube, and there will be much more content there in the near future. So I'm kind of spoiling it for you right now, but hey, whatever. Hyping myself. Woo! And as always, guys, go on iTunes and subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave a positive review. And you can download the whole internet as well at Made of Things Pod on WordPress. That's all for now. Take care, everyone. I am goodbye.